Instagram?
I do use Instagram, but like
What's your handle?
it's just I'm Vdrees on all platforms.
Cool,
I have locked that shit in, okay? You know where to find me if you're looking.
Yeah. I just tagged you in the story.
Yeah. Do you use
this song
Instagram?
kinda slaps.
Copyright free, royalty free. It's how we start every stream. Yep. Shout out Toxic Gamer in chat.
I feel like I should be running down like a road of like neon lights, like some Blade Runner shit.
I've been starting and ending the stream with this, not gonna lie.
This song makes me feel like Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. All right, we're live and alive.
Yay!
And it's
Live
Tuesday.
and alive.
It's January 18th. I'm Vdree. This is Kenny.
What's up, boys?
Hey. Feels good. Feels good. It's noon. We got an event coming up today. Perplexity.ai and Rabbit are doing an announcement. And that's what we're really here for. We're going to check it out as it's happening. We're going to listen live.
Yep.
Be dope. We got some reacts lined up too, sort of in that fun vein before we get going. And then we'll take a look at Perplexity, Rabbit, and that should bring us right up into the event. So, hey now.
Yeah.
Should be a lot of fun.
Minus 59 minutes.
Yeah, we'll give it a minute. We just sent out some socials. So, what am I looking at here? On a side note, who would your 2023 best feet streamer be?
What?
Let me show the chat. Here we go. So this was just fucking posted by the Streamer Awards. What am I looking at here? Fan, Ludwig, Prezzo, and Aldea's Sanctuary.
Damn, on the free though? All these picks?
Honestly, Stompy's kind of taking it from me from the Aldea Sanctuary, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Prezzo doesn't even have it in frame.
True. Honestly, Ludwig got some
here?
nice feet.
Yeah, look at them toesies. We love it.
We do. Bro, I don't know. I might buy Pal World. Might be worth it. I'm gonna watch your gameplay of it first before I pull the trigger.
For sure. Yeah, it's only $30, I think. So it's not the worst. Are you?
Bad.
I mean, it's similar to Lego Fortnite in some ways.
Is it so survival mode? Like, what is it like?
Yeah. So it's like a resource gathering, but then there's also these pals that you can like hunt, but also battle, which is kind of the Pokemon element of it, even though they're not Pokemon. But then they can also like work at your base and do stuff. You have to like provide for them, keep them comfortable. There's boss battles, so each one of them has like different abilities that can help you either gather resources or fight other ones. And then you throw like these kind of Pokeball things that capture the pals. So it looks pretty cool.
But it's also multiplayer, no?
Yeah.
That's nuts to me.
Yeah, it's kind of sick. But so there's a couple of games that it's kind of like, so like Ark Survival is one of them, where that's kind of like similar vibe, but it's a bunch of like dinosaurs that you go out and capture and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can level stuff up, you can build a base, all that kind of stuff.
So it's like Minecraft or Lego in the sense that like you're just kind of building your own world. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could be down. I don't know if I want to spend $30 on it. I definitely want to see some other people's gameplay before I pull the trigger.
100%. Yeah, we watched like a bunch of videos on it from people who got like early access.
Oh, nice. So you've already seen like actual gameplay, not just a trailer?
Yeah, I've seen a ton of gameplay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't seen gameplay, I think. I think I've only seen like the cinematic style trailers.
Yeah.
Or is that gameplay? Because if that's the gameplay, dude, oh shit. That's kind of wild.
I mean, some of it probably is, but you know how they do that stuff with like engines where they're like, oh, this may or may not have been captured in real time.
Right. Unless said so. All right, dude, I uploaded our little thumbnail. Gosh, YouTube. The YouTubes.
Sweet.
All right, dude. Well, I don't know. I'll let you know if I download it. I'd love to jump in on some multiplayer if you and your friends will have another.
Yeah.
If I end up downloading it, that is.
Sounds good. I'm always open to that.
All right. Well, we got about an hour before our listening party's gonna start. It's taking place on X Spaces, so I don't know how legit or how well it's gonna be broadcasted. I've tried to do some X Space listenings, and it's hit or miss. But,
true.
Kenny, you did bring some fun stuff for us to look at and chew on before we get into it, though.
Yeah, so this video has been making the rounds and people have been reacting to it and stitching it and stuff. It's I believe it's Grant Cardone's daughter talking about how she's gonna be a millionaire, and she immediately just is like, it's basically from my dad. But this guy I think does the best synopsis of it.
Okay. I'm just reading this long-ass caption, dude. Replying to Mario. This would be a tough step-by-step guide to be a millionaire, but I think we can do it. Okay. What are we doing here?
Number 4, I'm 20, and this is how.
Awesome. All right, what do we got to do?
I work for my dad's company.
Be Grant Cardone's child.
Okay.
Yeah,
Work
step 1.
for dad.
Okay.
Yep.
Tough starting stipulations, but let's see where else this
Not
goes.
impossible.
I have a contract with them, and I get paid every month.
Have contract,
Okay.
get paid $48,000 to $60,000 per year. Okay. Bit vague, but all right. Making $50,000-ish per year, we're going to become a millionaire. How are we doing it?
That money then goes into real estate, where I get some passive income I get to go spend. I never get to touch that principal income. So every year...
How is she paying her bills, though? I don't know.
What?
I'm sorry.
Well, Grant Cardone's paying her bills.
Fair.
Right.
Fucking fair.
that principal doubles, triples, it stacks on top of each other.
Invest in real estate
Okay.
that doubles or triples every year.
Naturally.
Easy.
Wow. I need to
Easy
find
fun.
me
It's like the 10x strategy.
some of that real estate. That'd be fantastic.
And over time, that principal in real estate will make me a millionaire. By the time I'm like 20 years old, I have like 600, 800,000
By the time I'm 20 years old?
in real
Shut
estate.
the fuck
Okay,
up.
so I'll actually only have about
There you go.
$600,000 to $800,000. So I won't quite be a millionaire, but I'll be pretty close. I guess if I round it up, I'd be pretty close to a millionaire. Still pretty good by 20. So I just need to be Grant Cardone's child, work for Grant Cardone, have a contract with him to get paid $50,000 a year, and then invest all of that in real estate that earns me 2 or 3 times appreciation over time, and I will be able to have $600,000 to $800,000 in real estate holdings by the time I'm 20. Easy. Let's do it.
Damn, Nick is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
In such a straightforward way.
Yeah,
Dude.
like without really I like how he's like kind of positive about it. Doesn't necessarily knock it off the bat, but the vibe is like
I'm going to be a millionaire before
Sorry, yeah. I mean, this is trendy, dude. Anything that's offering you a lofty result for little effort,
yeah.
that's it, dude. That's the grift.
That's
You know what I mean?
2024. Yeah.
Again, I think it's just like we're finding ourselves like in this place where we kind of need to bet on shitty things like this, like that video we were watching earlier. You know what I mean? That lady like scammed the banks. Hold on, let me pull it up. This is such a good transition into that too, because the thread explained exactly how to be a criminal. You know what I mean? It's pretty good.
Step by step. I love that the banks were getting tagged in this thread too. That makes it so much better.
It was so good. But again, I just feel like a lot of people our age, young people that are like in their 20s are like, well, capitalism seems like it's kind of dying before we have the chance to build wealth in it. So is that fair? Like,
yeah, exactly.
It's really fucking miserable.
The system's been cheating you the whole time. So all you need to do is cheat back.
Kind of what it feels like. So this is another viral video from X that kind of popped off this last week, and it's about how this lady like kind of stiffed the banks. So what she did was she signed up multiple LLCs to multiple credit card companies under those company names. Credit cards under the company names, right? And then proceeded to liquidate the funds from those credit cards and put a down payment onto this home in which she plans to Airbnb out for about $2,200 a month, finding herself in about $150,000 worth of debt. But don't worry, only $10,000
Yeah.
own money. And here's the thread on how she did it.
Oh, Lord.
Spelled out. That's hot. Yo, what's up, Eli in chat?
Hey, welcome, Eli.
It's going over from some fun stuff today. So, yeah, I mean, she kind of lays it all out here. And while it's definitely criminal, it's possible.
It sure is possible.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, there's video evidence.
Yeah, she documented it and added the narration herself.
Oh, boy.
I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Like, part of me is like, obviously, bad girl. Stop it. You're going to go to jail. No, don't do this. You know what I mean? But the other half of me is like, go off, queen.
Seriously.
It's your bankruptcy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, man. I wonder, I guess I also wonder, like, how much of the, because, like, why would you be so public about it if you weren't fully aware that you were committing fraud, you know? Like, do they not
ignorance
understand,
is at play here, maybe?
Or is it like, are they so confident in the manner in which they've committed fraud that, like...
So are you saying that maybe she's actually a little bit ignorant of her own doing here, maybe?
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially. I mean, it just seems incredibly ignorant to post this on social media.
It's brazen.
With 100 followers and kind of brag about it.
But that's the thing, Kenny. Like, even the video we were just watching, right, is like, get rich, and then I'm going to proceed to tell you how I definitely didn't do that. Like, I definitely did not use my own method to get rich. Yeah. That's kind of what the other one felt like, too. But at least she was doing it. At least she's the one, like, be a criminal like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel a lot of people are just kind of selling a grift, and it's working. It's working big time, boys.
Yeah, it really is.
You know,
I can't bring myself to that, but I see it so many times.
Look at some of these comments. Step 1, have a rich dad. Well, I'm out. Fair.
Have no expenses. Yeah, like, where are you living that you're getting paid $50,000, not using any of it, and still, like, being able to survive? Excuse me? Are you still under your parents' roof? Like, probably. If your dad's Grant Cardone, what's he paying for your apartment, paying for your school, paying for everything? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm a millionaire because I too rounded up from my 10K. Eli in chat, what's the topic? Well, we got a lot of topics kind of circling today. The main topic's going to be the R1. So the Rabbit launch is kind of doing something with Perplexity. It's all shrouded in vagueness, honestly.
Yeah.
But they're going to have an announcement, and they're going to clear things up, I guess, on X. So we're going to listen to that a little bit later. We're just kind of shooting the shit right now, going through some more fun stuff before we start shooting on the big topic of the day. Yeah. But yeah, we're kind of just making fun of people right now, to be honest, for grifting. It's kind of what it feels like. It's definitely a trend. 2024 is learn to grift, do it hard, turn around, get a camera, teach others to grift.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. I have a lot to say about it.
Me too. Me too.
So this is Jessica Burbank on Banks. Was this one more probably related to what we were talking about with the grifting?
Yeah, probably more so the poverty generation.
So this is Good Morning, Bad News. If you don't know, great TikTok channel.
Good morning, bad news. As of 2024, millennials and Gen Zers have less money than any other generation at any other point in U.S. history. A new report shows that 3 out of 4 millennials and 3 out of 5 Gen Zers.
If you're a broke boy, just say so.
Hey, Pokemon, can I get some of that?
Saving almost nothing with no economic ability to buy a house or start a family or even cover a minor medical emergency.
Come on, pal. Tell me something I don't know.
That's because over the past 2 years, corporations have created hyperinflation on top of pandemic inflation through blatant price gouging to generate record-breaking profits, which are subsidized.
The connotation in which this information is presented is so fun.
I know. Their edits are just so on point.
Holy bejeebas, can you believe it?
By historically low real wages, because since the Reagan administration, baby boomers have been leveraging their children's financial futures to make themselves extremely wealthy and create an economic system with the singular goal of increasing corporate profits at the expense of paying workers a living wage, thus ending the possibility of middle-class mobility, which is why you can't afford a place to live, food to eat, gas in your car, or seeing a doctor, because if you were to have more money to improve your life, corporations couldn't use it for executive bonuses, stock buybacks, insider...
This is an interesting conversation. I'll let the video finish, but I have a thought about that too.
Okay.
trading or political lobbying. And they're the ones who get to decide what the extra money that you earned for them is spent on.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert,
Right.
it's not you.
Yeah, what a good
Their
video.
sources.
Smart. Last second of the video, they have all the sources they pulled from for data and stuff. So
Yep.
what I was gonna say was, again, I just don't like the pigeonholing of like generation versus generation. Like, I know way too many broke old people that are struggling. You do you know what I mean? Like, so to boil it down with that divisional, like, oh, it's generation versus generation. I really think we need to stick together and have some class solidarity here.
100%.
Because I just loathe that so much. Like, I will call the next old person a boomer all day. Listen. But when it comes to like this kind of shit, I feel for old people because like a lot of them are like worse off even because they actually have
100%.
like a lot of health issues, like mobility issues, transportation issues, like so many material things impact them on like much more of a severe level than say me. You know what I mean?
100%, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like I could handle a few health scares still. Like, I'm kind of young, you know what I mean? But God forbid, like Cindy down the street who's 72 has one, doesn't have health insurance, you know? And
Yep.
yeah, but I definitely feel this video, right, Kenny? Fuck.
Totally. And I think like it's tough because it's like, yes, the problems and the mistakes were made by people in and of that generation, but we're talking about people like, you know, fucking Ronald Reagan and like, you know, whoever was in charge of fucking Goldman Sachs at that point and all these other things. It's like, yes, okay, are they boomers? Absolutely. But like you said, I know a lot of fucking people that are either Gen X or boomers and just aren't financially well off.
And they can't do as much stuff. Like,
exactly.
Like, it's debilitating.
Yeah, exactly. And it's easy to point at that because, you know, the boomer generation and all of that, like, you know, just the title is so broad and so encompassing that, you know, you cast a wide net, people pick up on that. People love the generational divide kind of content and the back and forth and then the compare and contrast. You even see it with millennials and Gen Z. But it's like there's a lot of people in those broad groups that you can't overgeneralize.
Yeah. Just looking at the chat, even the comments are very like, well, shouldn't spend all that on my avocado toast and lattes. And it looks like they're already kind of calling out Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
I feel like Gen Alpha, they say Gen Z is the most hustle culture there is, like entrepreneurial, you know?
Yeah.
I think Gen Alpha is going to give them a fucking run for their grift money. I'm telling you.
Totally. Have you seen the trend of like, there's like I don't know if it was one person or if it's like a general trend, but there's like very young girls that are like 10 or 12 years old that are posting like their Sephora hauls and makeup and stuff. And a bunch of people were like ripping on it and like making fun of it and just being like, oh, I'm a 10-year-old girl doing this. But then, you know, and I think there's multiple points to this where one is like, okay, yeah, that's super like hustle culture. Like this person's putting themselves out there trying to make money, trying to set up a brand at the age of 10 years old or whatever, where you can't even be on these social apps.
Oh,
legally,
bet.
Right?
Why did that not connect? Sorry.
Yeah. But then there was another person's argument who was like, you know, this is misogyny. Like this is like girls be girls. She wants to do makeup. Like she wants to, you know, we're all like when we were growing up looking at people and trying to be like, oh, I want to be an adult. I want to be cool. I want to feel good. Da, da, da. So it's, you know, there's fucking like 20 sides to every dice. You can't even say there's two sides to the coin anymore because things are so nuanced. But it's especially with content like this, which I think they do a great job, but it's so hard to cover everything in a TikTok, you know, that's like a minute and 30 seconds.
It's just, again, so nuanced. Like when I was looking at a graph just the other week that was really explaining like greedflation on a ramp, like how some stuff has gone up a lot, some other stuff has gone up some, and then there's a lot of stuff that simply is not going up as fast as some of these other things like healthcare. You know what I mean? The things that you need versus the things that you want. I think that should be talked about more too. It's just like, what is going up? That's kind of wild. Like, why are health services growing at an exponential rate of cost per like procedure versus like my television that's decreasing in value? What is that? Like, why is it cheaper to get an OLED than it is to like fix my tooth? You know? It's kind of nuts.
Oh my god, why is it cheaper to get an OLED than fix my fucking healthcare?
It's nuts, man. I don't know. That's obviously a little personal, but
Sure. But I mean, it's also kind of like that specific instance is personal, but that is such a fucking broad experience especially among Americans, because like your healthcare is tied to your job, single payer, like all these different things that factor into that make it the cost so high. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. Just more class solidarity, dude. We're all broke, and I'm just kind of tired of pointing the finger at my neighbor. Like, oh, dude, can we all just join together and overthrow Bezos for a change? Like, Jesus Christ, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's nothing I hate more than people who come in the comments of videos like that or videos about workers and just suck on the boots of people like Bezos and Elon Musk and like feel how you want to feel about them, especially Elon. Like he's got more of a presence both socially and, you know, all over the place. But from a perspective of these people are billionaires, you don't become a billionaire without exploitation. Pure and simple.
Sure.
And that's a separate conversation if you want to have it too. Like, should they exist? Should they not exist? That's completely whatever.
Taylor Swift has the right to exist, Kenny.
Hey, yo, no.
What are you saying right now on the internet?
Okay, that's a prime example. I love Taylor Swift. I love her music. But she's contributed a company's worth of CO2 to the atmosphere. Like, there's got to be a way to, you know.
Oh, my God.
You know? Like,
if she wants to use her PJ, I think we as a nation should allow it.
She can, and we do. We
do. I did notice that our boy Dan Toomey posted a new video. I had not seen it yet. I don't really know how it fits in the grand scheme of
students on consulting. Let's go.
But this kind of fits in our conversation we're having earlier about MBAs. So let's see what Dan is saying. He always has a good take on something or other.
What industry did you work in prior to your MBA?
Consulting.
And what are you hoping to work?
Wait, pause. What's consulting, Kenny? What is how does one work in consulting?
I don't understand. I don't know. You just give business strategy? I don't know.
You just give business strategy advice? I like that. Okay.
It's the most vague, but it's so overpaid.
For MBA.
He's going to say consulting.
Now, what are you hoping to get out of this MBA program?
Hopefully a job in consulting.
I would be going into consulting.
What clubs are you a part of?
There's a consulting club, and the second one is a community consultants of Darden.
So I'm going into consulting, but specifically for nonprofits and philanthropists.
What industry did you work in prior to Darden?
I was doing consulting before.
Got it. And are you hoping to enter consulting after the MBA program?
Yeah, different type of consulting. I used to do financial services consulting, and now I will do strategy consulting.
Mark, what did you do before business school?
I was a consultant.
And what do you hope to do after business school?
Definitely not consulting.
Oh.
Finally, some diversity. Thanks, Mark. What?
Yeah.
Why don't we look up what consulting constitutes? Like, what is consulting?
I can tell you, when I was in my master's program, I'm just going to drop that right now. I was in a master's program. I have a master's degree. One of the main things they said that you could do with your master's degree is get this, consult. And what it meant in the context of my master's degree is pretty much go into any company that is looking to leverage new technologies and do professional developments to like onboard employees. So it's essentially like teaching in a way. It depends upon like, are you teaching, you know, employees en masse, or maybe you're teaching admin to then go on board for themselves, right? So I don't know how that applies to like other industries, but that is what it was for me, at least.
Yeah. I just wonder what their day-to-day looks like. Like, fuck, like what? How many people are there to consult?
I don't know. So the way they sold it to us as like educational technology and new media professionals is like marketing, really, and like in trying to make learning fun. And then there was obviously like processes and like content management systems. Like say that, you know, a lot of companies have never really made a switch to like tech. So you can see how they would need consulting and like processes and systems put into place by someone who is familiar.
Sure.
What do you do with an MBA? I just don't know. Maybe like,
I don't know.
What you mentor like small business owners? Like, I don't know.
Or just go into like corporations and just consult.
Yeah, I genuinely couldn't tell you. Tell you there.
There's got to be consulting firms, right? And they just send their services to other corporations, and they're just like, yeah, we got consultants on deck for you. Come take your pick.
Yeah, do you like join a firm, perhaps?
I would imagine.
Oh, this could be a fun question for Perplexity. Hold on. So I just used Google and it told me jack shit. I asked, what does consulting with MBA look like? I don't know, maybe examples or like something. And it's like, how can an MBA get you into consulting? So there's this link. Let's see what Perplexity says, because we're going to be talking more about Perplexity today too. So this could be a fun, A/B test.
Yeah.
Okay. I just feel like it's such a better answer. I don't know.
Yeah.
Consulting with an MBA involves acquiring a set of skills, knowledge, and network. So I think network is doing a lot of work here. It can enhance your career in consulting. An MBA can help develop skills such as communication, teamwork, and problem solving. So they're a communications major.
Basically, the curriculum is typically courses related to organizational dynamics, strategy, implementation, and leadership, preparing students for a career in consulting.
Brother, it's
That's
so
the other
vague.
thing is like the MBA is like half about like what you're at. Like it's probably like 30% the name of the school, 30% the people you meet there. No, 40% the people you meet there, and then like some other stuff, and then 10% the actual skills you learn.
Yeah, so this feels another example of like, when you get your MBA, it just shows that like you started a course and were able to finish it, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it shows. Like, I feel like this is a communications degree. This is a liberal arts degree. This like you can spend your time developing hard skills.
Yeah. The other thing I think that it offers is just like the access to the companies that are hiring for these roles. Like you have companies that come in and they either offer an internship your first year, and then like they're recruiting directly from the school or the program that you're getting an MBA at. So it's like the direct path rather than like applying and hearing back from no one, and then they're like, oh, actually we require an MBA, blah blah blah. It's like putting you in the space to have the access to those jobs and the companies that are hiring for them, like a direct line of communication almost.
Yeah, I wish we had some NBA havers in chat that could further illuminate what a day. Oh my God, do you think there's a day in the life of a consultant video we could find on TikTok? Oh shit. Give me a second.
There's gotta be.
Oh no, get ready with me as a consultant.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. A day in the life of a MBA consultant. Yo, is there a trend for this? Or are they too serious? Like,
day of the life of a management consultant in Toronto. Oh, these are like 6 minutes. A typical day.
okay, hold on. I think I might have found one. Why does this guy look so familiar? This guy looks familiar. What the fuck? Why does he look like this?
Of a consultant at McKinsey, BCG, or Bain look like? Caveat, of course, every project is different, but this should give you a good idea.
Okay, I can barely understand this man. I'm so glad there's fucking transfer.
At 8:30 in the morning, you might meet with your team in the team room to go over
like Schwarzenegger.
Okay, so it's definitely like an all hands meeting every morning. So they're like just a leader. They're like the principal, right?
The project lead, everyone will discuss his or her priorities for the day. At 9 a.m., you might have a meeting.
They delegate
with a client from the finance team to go over some numbers that the person sent to you and ask some clarifying questions on the data you received.
So you might budget. You might be like running budget, like processes and systems. Maybe you're like, I don't know.
Who do we lay off?
With the line manager from the client to get additional input for your analysis. Then you might have 2 hours for yourself in the team room to get some work done. At midday, you go to the canteen of your client together with some colleagues to grab some lunch. Afterwards, one of your partners, one of the senior leaders of your firm might fly in and meet you for 1 or 2 hours of problem-solving sessions.
Like problem-solving sessions sound like something I used to do with my middle schoolers when there was conflict on the playground. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
How many problems are there to solve on the day-to-day, you know?
People say like email jobs are fake jobs, but I'm almost 100% MBA consultant jobs are fake jobs.
Yeah.
I'm almost sold on it.
That's why I want one.
Then around 6 p.m. you might do a team checkout where everyone shares the progress of the day
Dude.
and also discusses what they still have
They're
on
like a glorified office counselor, bro. Like that's what they
the
do.
plate for the remainder of the evening. Around 7 p.m. you might drive
Like
to
a
the hotel
project
for tea dinner.
manager.
Then everyone goes to the hotel room to
With
wrap
an
up the day.
MBA.
If you would be able to close your laptop at 10 p.m., that wouldn't be too bad. Follow for more career insights.
I doubt it.
I don't know, man.
doubt it. I doubt
Like,
this
what?
fool's working until 10 p.m. Bull hockey.
Consulting, bro.
It sounds like a good job. Sounds like a fake job. Sounds like an email job.
It so does.
That's
it's
funny,
like
dude.
it feels like I know they're probably so different, but it feels like a lobbyist in some ways. Like there's just like.
Did I tell you about the time I lobbied?
No way. Let's hear it.
I lobbied Congress once. Yeah. I was part of the California Higher Student Summit, which is like the coalition of students that are selected to go lobby in Sacramento on part of like freezing the tuitions and like negotiating tuition fees. Let me tell you, it's all a bunch of crock. Okay. No, it's all crock shit. It's all performative. They don't even want us in their like chambers. Okay. They didn't want us there. It felt like they were doing us a favor. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. And we really
like, they already
thought
had their minds made up too, probably.
we had made proposals and like damn good ones. Okay. We were up in our hotel room till like midnight, cranking out these Excel spreadsheets, trying to explain like how freezing the tuition for 3 years and then doing like an incremental change will get them to the same spot in 10 years while we wait on legislation, right? No one even listened to our spiel. It was so bad, dude.
That's so fucked.
Yeah.
Because you're not coming in there with that fucking ExxonMobil money saying,
you're not wrong.
Here's a little for you. Here's a little for you.
That's true, dude. We were just like a bunch of like, you know, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed students, right?
Yeah, trying to do good for the community and the people and not for the senators. Not for the senators.
Like my mom was so proud of me.
As she should be.
I called her and I was like, Mom, it's all a lie.
The jaded.
Yeah,
you got
it was
jaded
so
over
bad.
there. Fuck.
It was so bad, dude. But yeah, fake jobs, they're all good. They're all good. All jobs are beautiful.
Yeah. Job positivity.
Absolutely, dude. You know what doesn't deserve positivity? The damn banks. They don't,
No, not at all.
they don't deserve our
ridiculous.
positivity.
This is ridiculous what she talks about.
So this is Jessica Burbank. If you don't know who Jessica Burbank is, you should, because she's great. She's really, really smart, and she breaks down things in a way that is just easily digestible for the masses. Just really good content creator all around.
From
100%.
And then depositing that same money into accounts with the Fed where they're earning a higher interest rate on it than what they're paying on the loan. Banks are borrowing money at 4.88.
Hey, wasn't that what that lady was doing? wasn't
not in the same way.
Didn't she try to do something?
Like,
kind of similar?
criminality at the top is not criminality at the bottom. Okay, these are two separate things here.
No, but I mean, maybe she was learning from the best.
8% interest and then depositing it into Fed accounts where they're earning 5.4% interest. During the week that ended on December 13th, they borrowed $124 billion, and in the week through December 30th, they borrowed $131 billion, $255 billion in 2 weeks. They're borrowing from the Federal Reserve's newly created Bank Term Funding Program, the BTFP, which was founded during the banking crisis when we saw Silicon Valley Bank and other smaller regional banks collapse.
Oh, so it's pretty new. Hold on, I gotta run that back. I'm kind of curious. What was created? What are they?
$31 billion, $255 billion in 2 weeks. They're borrowing from the Federal Reserve's newly created Bank Term Funding Program, the BTFP, which was founded during the banking crisis when we saw Silicon Valley Bank and other smaller regional banks collapse. Who at the Fed did not see this coming? The same banks that had all of this money from their depositors that they gambled away so much that they couldn't make good on the deposits. Who would have thought those same banks would find a way to make money off of this program instead of just doing honest, necessary borrowing? At this point, what are the bank's credit scores? Banks are borrowing
Damn. What are the bank's credit scores?
Constantly changing, aren't they? Aren't they constantly in flux? Like as even are like the U.S. credit rating. It's because of this stuff.
It's exactly that. Yeah, it's 100% because of this stuff, and it's like, dude, it's. Nobody learned any lessons from the 2008 financial crisis. Like they're just like, oh man, we got to put a little bit more red tape. And they're just like, all right, cool. We have all these fucking legal experts and lawyers, and we're going to look about how to get around this red tape. And the Fed is it's not government funded. It's like, well, it is, but it's private, whatever. Semantics. But it's like, dude, they're always going to do this shit.
And the worst part is these guys that are doing this, especially if it was this recent, I've been kind of unplugged, but what these banks' most recent, announcements have been is fucking crypto ETFs of all fucking things, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen this? Like the boost in actual big banks that are trying to push through these, crypto ETFs, which I think is kind of
because it's access to more customer deposits.
Yeah. And
they would have control over and be able to leverage and be able to bet and be able to gamble away, that she said.
It's like the ultimate infinite money glitch. And I think when startups do this, it's called circular investing, which is illegal, right? Something like that, something along those lines. They can get away with a lot.
Yeah, the whole too big to fail is as relevant as it was in 2008 today. The government's going to be there to step in, the money printer go brrr, and they stay afloat. Other people get fucked. It is what it is.
Yeah, how are you gonna borrow money and then lend it to the person you borrowed it from? That seems so ass backwards.
Yeah, yeah.
It can't be illegal.
What the hell?
No shot.
They're literally, it's fucking bank arbitrage is what it is.
Yeah, right?
It's what the fuck?
But there has to be a carve out. It has to be legal. It has to be, right? This is legal. I mean,
for sure it is for them because they found a way. They had their lawyers look into it and they're like, well, here's what we can do. The Fed's giving us this and it's part of a program as a fail-safe and let's exploit it. Obviously legally, because otherwise... But even then, man, there's so many things where it's not playing by the rules for large corporations, banks, things like that, and finding a way to exploit the shit out of people will net benefit you because the legal action is going to take so long, and the people pursuing said legal action are either federally funded, slow as fuck, bureaucratic, and the fines that you'll pay for any wrongdoing are negligible compared to what you'll make out with from having done it,
Yeah, I guess the NBA consultants are over there fucking, doing their cross analysis of benefits versus cons, and they're like, you know what? Send it. Just do it.
Plug it. Put it in there.
Jesus. Oh man.
Anyway.
Yeah. No. Enough rage. I have a question for you. A little bit more fun. How do you feel about this? Have you heard about this?
Troy Baker is playing Indiana Jones in The Great Circle. There's another Indiana Jones,
Yeah, and here's another one too. It looks like it's kind of popping off on X right now.
Oh.
I feel like this is up your alley. Do you fuck with Indiana Jones?
I used to. I grew up on it. I loved the original movies, but nothing since. None of the new ones have been any good. I didn't even see the most recent one. Whatever, Pendant of Destiny. I don't even remember what it was called.
Yeah. I can't say I've ever played the game. Ever.
I played it when it was on PS2, and it was not great. It was Indiana Jones themed Tomb Raider, I think. But less cool.
Dude, I remember Tomb Raider. That shit was hot. I mean, awesome. Hot. Awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry. Whoa. I'm so sorry. Whoa.
Big titties. It was whoo.
I love triangles. My new favorite shape.
I love triangles.
Oh, was that an awakening I felt? Oh my gosh.
Maybe, potentially.
All right, we got about 20 minutes until the event starts. I'm going to grab a quick water. Kenny, you mind entertaining for just 2 seconds here?
Absolutely.
Also, I'm going to probably pull up some other media too, but give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
For sure. What's up, chat? Anyone here? I can't really see it, but, we're out here. That was fun. We watched some good videos. Also, if you haven't seen, V has a video on their channel about half of what we're going to be looking into right now, which is the Rabbit R1 I don't even know what to call it. It's not necessarily an AI wearable, right? It's like just a little square that kind of just like works with your apps. Like you can be like, call me an Uber or play Taylor Swift or whatever, and it does it. It says it's about half the size of an iPhone. Kind of looks like a Pokédex, which is sick. It's got a 360-degree rotating camera on it, and then a little press to talk button. We still don't fully understand what its like use case is, but it's $199, no subscription. They sold out of their either 40,000 or 400,000 units. Right?
I think they're doing
within 8 days.
10,000 per drop, and they are now done with 4 of them. So 40,000.
40,000.
Here, let's chew on this. Yeah, managed to sell 40,000 units at $199 a pop. No subscription fee. It's a one-time purchase.
That's crazy.
Which is already kind of like we were just kind of talking about that, like, big promises, not a lot of work thing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Different vibes, but kind of the same ones.
Yeah.
Like it feels lofty.
Yeah. For something that's maybe it feels aspirational. Like it's not there, but they want people to see what could be there, and they're working off of that hype.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put this. So that maybe starting out with the article is a good place. We could go through their website. I had the keynote pulled up so we could look at some of their case uses that they've identified thus far. I also made a video. I kind of wanted to go through some of the comments because there's a lot of passion behind the product so far. So
I am gonna do my water refill real quick.
Yeah,
and then I'll come back for that.
For sure. Thank you all for hanging out. Kenny, we're live streaming on Kenny's. We're co-streaming right now. And so you can find us on both of our YouTubes. Thanks for being here and watching if you are. But yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to explain exactly what the Rabbit R1 is, which is going to be that gadget. It's going to be the hardware, right? And then we're going to talk about Perplexity, which I have a suspicion is going to be an integrated software into the R1 gadget. And then obviously we'll listen live to the spaces as it's happening, and maybe try to cut in some commentary throughout that process. Maybe not. We'll see what happens with the live, right? But yeah, dude, we actually kind of dabbled in Perplexity a little bit earlier. We're looking up the consulting. It's pretty funny. Some music on while we're chilling. Oops. I'll do that. Mobby. Let me change these titles real quick. Hope everyone's having a good Thursday. Kind of stoked to see what this announcement's all about. Like I said, I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be an integration of Perplexity.ai, which is just a comprehensive search engine, pretty much. Just like Google.
Yum.
In a way. Welcome back, sir. Welcome back.
Good to be back.
Dude, your merch is so sick, though. You want to show it off for a second here? Look at that.
Sure.
Just some Kenny merch coming in hot from the Hessinator.
Yeah,
Again, at the Hessinator on almost all platforms, I'm pretty sure.
Limited edition, and that it's not being sold anymore.
That's right. Hot
Also,
off the presses.
Probably have to change the logo if I do sell again, because this is all I did was change the lettering of the Fox News logo.
I don't know what you're talking about, brother.
I don't know. Actually, this was made from scratch.
Totally original. It's...
Yes, inspired by Fox News.
Yes. All right, shifting gears to the Rabbit R1, loosely inspired by what a lot of people are calling a fucking Pokedex, which I think is cool. I think it's cool. A lot of people have called it very similar to a Tamagotchi, which is nostalgic for many of us.
That could be a very cool use case in the future if it ever comes to it, where it could scan elements of something. I still don't know what, because there's no Pokemon out there, but like, you know, it could give you background on almost like Google's, like when you upload an image and Google does something like that, but if it could scan something and be like, this is here's a little history about blah blah blah.
No, 100%, brother. In my, I think it was my prediction video, not necessarily not the Rabbit R1 video I did, but I was talking about how like the tab and meta glasses, like I think the coolest use case is like when you get stranded on the side of the road and you're like, look at my engine, what is wrong with it? You know what I mean? Is it just a water thing, or is like something, a gasket's blown? Like maybe AI can help troubleshoot some of those very real world issues.
That is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, or even looking at like a wall. Like I had just hung up this like shelf, and I was trying to like center it. You know what I mean? And I have one of them laser things that you can like put up, and it like automatically levels it and stuff. But like maybe that's what AI can do too. Like, have you seen the Bali? Have you seen the Bali?
No. What is that?
Oh my god. So the Bali, I think, is Samsung. Is it Samsung? It is Samsung. Whoa. Samsung's on something.
It's like a BB-8.
What's a BB-8?
The thing from Star Wars, the new Star Wars movies, the droid, the circle droid.
I don't Star Wars. I'm sorry. I was in different metas.
he's hella cute though. If you look him up, you'd like it.
Yeah, this guy is hella cute, and it follows you around, and it's got like a projector in it, and it's got like a camera, and it's pretty much like an assistant as well. It can even like feed treats to your dog. Like it does a lot of... Stop! Oh my god, that just hit.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. So okay, but think about it. You know what I mean? You got your little Bali guy, and it's configured. You know, it's an LAM. Maybe it's a live action model itself. That'd be kind of sick. Anyway, I see the application. It's there.
Yeah.
Okay. So what is the Rabbit R1? Because that's the hardware that is going to be, you know, encapsulating this Perplexity AI and however it's being collaborated with today. But so this is the latest news. We already talked about it a little bit. It had a monstrous product launch. Like it broke the internet product launch. Very few have managed to do this. We've seen so many products in the AI hardware space, Tab, Meta glasses. I'm forgetting the other super popular one, the AI pin by Humane. You know, so we do see a lot of gadgets in the space, but this one blew up, and it's an AI-powered Rabbit operating software. So it's a standalone software product that's integrated into a virtual assistant piece of hardware. And it can control all of your apps. So you can configure it, allow it to, you know, give it permissions essentially to operate on your behalf inside of applications. So you do need apps still to connect to the device and give permissions to it. But yeah, it's a beautiful piece of hardware, and it was created by Teenage Engineering, which is probably... Dude, that's probably where the hype came from. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it looks slick and sick.
Yeah, a lot of people are comparing it to sort of that vintage style handheld. It's reminiscent of like a minimal design. It really swept the internet for its look and piquing curiosity alone. And that's kind of what they're doing with today's event as well. It's like, what is the Rabbit working on with Perplexity AI? Which is Perplexity AI is just a company that uses generative AI for search, just kind of like a Google meets ChatGPT. Not Not really sure how it's going to combine. More of that mystery.
Yeah. I mean, I only see like one potential, and that's that Perplexity is like the default search engine on it. But who knows? Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised, and it'll be something groundbreaking.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna play some of this video. I think they copyrighted the song in it, so it's gonna be a little silent. But I'll play some background music over it, and then we'll watch a little bit of the demo. I'm a big demo boy. I don't love a lot of promo. I want to see more demo. And I did watch this, and I will say what I noticed is what was not shown, not necessarily what was shown. And we only have about 10 minutes, by the way, guys, if we're keeping track here. Let me close all these windows real quick. We only have about 10 minutes or so until the spaces start, so we're gonna try to speed run this a bit.
Sure thing.
Yeah, so let's take a look.
Can do.
So it's beautiful, right? God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very Apple in the aesthetic of the, ooh, okay. I love that.
It's cool,
Spinny,
man.
spinny. Dude, I would fidget with that so hard.
There's been a lot of
USB-C?
products. Yeah. There's been a lot of product spin-offs of it as well that have been like, oh, what would be sick is this version of it. And there's been fidget spinners, you know what I mean? Like all sorts of like variations of it.
That's cool.
This is the Rabbit R1. Designed in collaboration with Teenage Engineering, the R1 is a fully standalone device, primarily driven by natural language. The accumulation of countless hours of work from our research, design, and software teams. It is simple to use. R1 is equipped with everything you need to interact with you and perceive your surroundings. It comes with a touch.
So this is another thing that all of the devices that are like AI hardware have in common is it's collecting data, which can be a pretty big privacy concern because again, you're kind of subjecting those around you to data collection. I don't know how when we're talking longevity of a product, I see this encountering many issues with policy.
Yep.
Screen. A push-to-talk button
fast and break things.
And an analog scroll.
Absolutely, Kenny.
A microphone and speakers, and a computer vision-enabled 360-degree rotational camera we call the Rabbit Eye. It is Bluetooth and Wi-Fi capable, and it has...
Okay, so it's Wi-Fi capable, also perhaps meaning you might need to get additional data for it from your provider, right? Again, we don't have much time, allegedly, until it starts. I'm going to kind of speed run some of this, but here's some case uses, Kenny.
Album.
So it's asking it to operate Spotify. So, hey, Alexa, play. You can do that.
That's all the tracks from the same album. Who wrote the lyrics?
And I don't know if you noticed, but it has its like own UI, right? So it's not...
Yeah.
It's kind of Spotify's UI, but not really. He goes on to play music. He books a ride, with an Uber, right? And it recommends, like, based on the amount of people he has, what kind of vehicle he might want. So I'm gonna fast forward for the travel.
Why the bi-directional translation? R1 has an eye, an onboard camera designed for advanced.
Yeah, it's right here.
Museums, enjoying delicious meals at local restaurants, and experiencing the vibrant atmosphere of different neighborhoods. Navigation details are also prepared, and I can help you book tickets for any events you'd like to attend.
R1 just planned the entire trip for me. That's awesome. But it seems like this is a little bit too intense. Can you plan an easy schedule for us?
Sure, I'm working on it.
Okay.
Silence.
Please take a look at it and let me know what you think.
It gave me a more relaxed schedule every day with all the details. Sounds really good. And I just confirmed that.
I can foresee a wonderful trip.
Isn't that cool, huh? R1 can help me reach others just like a phone.
Okay, what was not shown there though? Like, did you get the tickets?
Yeah,
is there a layover? Like, it just...
It's just an itinerary.
Which ChatGPT could do in theory, if it, you know what I mean? Like, you could ask it that. I don't know. I am failing to see the most compelling case use. I think what I mentioned with like interacting with like your surroundings is pretty cool. Let's look at the fridge component here.
Okay, yeah.
So he's using the camera,
model.
to interpret data around him. Could be cool.
Vision. It can analyze surroundings and take actions in real time. To activate the eye, just double tap the button. Oh, funny seeing you here, Rick.
Rick Astley.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck.
fucking Rick rolls this.
Let me
The
take
new
a
one is
look.
Josh Hutcherson, though.
Why do people keep saying that?
Because he became a meme recently.
Badge.
Never gonna give you up. Playing now. Enjoy.
I don't get it.
Am I getting Rick rolled in my own keynote? Let's move on to the next one.
Oh,
this is what I got in the fridge. Can you make me a nice dish that's low in calories?
Let me see.
My dude only has fruits and vegetables in there, but
Yeah,
pretty low in calories.
that's all gonna be low
How
in
about
calories,
a
bro.
green garden omelet? It's a delicious and low-calorie dish that combines the freshness of broccoli and cabbage with the creaminess of eggs.
Okay, dude. But okay.
Look how those things are positioned too, so that they're like kind of clearly visible and the shapes can be made out.
There's a few things about just this part of the keynote that I didn't mention in my video, and one of them was the graininess of the screen. His hand is so clear. I can only assume they're using a really good camera to film the keynote. So to have this display showing what it is right now is very disappointing. It's like a really blown out and grainy. It looks like a Razer camera vibe.
Yep, 100%.
You got to remember that it is a $199 device. It is sitting on the lower end of like consumer tech. You know what I mean? You can't even get a Switch for that amount of money.
Very true.
So again, I'm trying to come at it with like realistic lens, but also I'm trying to temper my own optimism because I want it to be so cool. I'm ready for the future, Kenny. Okay.
Me too. Bring the future to me.
But I think, again, a much cooler application of this might be showing a complicated desk setup or something like an IKEA furniture, or you know what I mean? Like having it work through something that is more meticulous, like identifying what's wrong with your engine based off of like where the smoke's coming from. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It could have been more compelling. I just don't love the screen, to be honest. This looks like a fun animation. This makes me feel like it's like 160, like, you know, frame rate. Like it makes me feel like it is a good screen.
Image generated on Midjourney through Teach Mode. Ask anything.
Here we go. So this is sort of their bento box of all the features, Kenny.
Yeah, this presentation is so Apple. It's insane.
Yes, very Apple. But yeah, so this is pretty much their main pitch here. You got 4G LTE connection. So in theory, it could be like an iPad you take into the Verizon store, hook it up. You know what I mean? It could, in theory, replace maybe a cell phone. I don't know. They didn't make any phone calls on it, though.
Yeah. Where would you even put oh, there's a SIM card slot. Okay.
The other thing about the camera, it is a step motion powered 360 rotational camera with a privacy mode, but I would love to see like a gimbal almost compatible component to it. I feel like if they spent more time on the camera component, this would have been like a real thick product for creators, especially in this space.
True, actually, yeah. But then, I mean, I can't imagine that you can record much to it. Like, where would it store
the cloud? Maybe like the Tab, which is like which is another wearable like necklace. This guy named Avi has been making it, and he's been building it pretty much in like very transparently on Twitter, and he shares pictures and stuff all the time, and the quality looks really good. Okay. So I don't know. Again, I'm just kind of sharing what I know. We got about 2 minutes. Let's check in. Maybe close this out.
I hope this blows me away, but
yeah,
because it's not like they're gonna change the hardware very much anytime soon, right?
Not the hardware, but with Perplexity being introduced, if I was looking at this bento box, I could see the rabbit hole web portal and the AI enhanced communication being impacted by the integration of Perplexity.ai. So,
agreed.
Or even maybe experimental teach mode, depending on like, because you can upload currently like documents and stuff to Perplexity and have it do processes on it and like do whatever you want with it, just like a ChatGPT sort of generative AI tool. So I don't know. Maybe there's a further application that we're just not seeing yet, right? Like something's here that we're just not making a connection to, because remember, it's not a large language model. This is a large action model. It's supposed to take action on your behalf, not necessarily just give you text-based responses.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not me keep checking in here.
Are they going to start on time?
2:00.
It is 2:00. By my standards, it's 2.
2:00. I don't know. So this guy should be as the main hoster. I'm not really sure where it pops up. Oh, here's like another prototype. Cool. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. There's like prototypes coming out of it too. Chat can't see, but here we go.
People trying to get design jobs, product designer.
Right, dude? And honestly, he's liked quite a few fun projects, like examples or like prototypes of what could be.
Yeah.
There was essentially like a smartwatch vibe.
That's what I saw, a couple of those, and I was like, okay, I can see that.
It just looks so beautiful. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh man, there we go.
Yeah.
Get the Turks way. Can't wait. Pokemon Go on it.
Like, imagine playing Pokemon Go on it. But again, I don't think it's meant to do that. It's not meant to be like an app, right? Or is it meant to be whatever the hell you want it to be? I don't know. Oh, is it starting?
I'm just so surprised so many people bought it already without so much as like a, other than the keynote. Like, what are they doing with their rabbits right now?
Right. So I'm looking through. Some people said that they've already bought it. These are the comments from the video I made on it.
Yeah.
But there were a lot of people very optimistic about it, and then we had a lot of people that were kind of more pessimistic about it. So this guy said, only $199, low price point, teenage engineering helped make it. True.
Yeah. I didn't know what teenage engineering was when I read that comment, so I was just like, they hired teenagers? Like,
you've never seen like their keyboards and like tech setups?
No.
Dude. Nope. It's like, very acoustic of us.
Okay.
It's a train. It's like model trains for like tech nerds.
That's super cool though,
Just
actually.
Cool keyboards, and it feels good, and the clickety clackety is awesome.
I love model trains.
They're late. Okay. So very cool projects. This person even had tips, dog. Did you see this comment, bro?
I didn't see the whole thing. I only saw the first paragraph. Damn.
Again, I think a lot of people are passionate about it because like me, we're just excited for what could be. You know what I mean? The enigmatic like process of, wow, this is so new.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's see. After giving Rabbit a complicated task of trip booking, it takes more time. Option to initiate a new task so you don't get stuck for that one. We didn't even get to see the task process though.
Yeah, and I think that part where there was that pause might have been to be like, oh, look, we're being real. Like, it does take time, but I doubt it was that quick.
Oh, spaces. He's got a space thing on him. Does that mean we're live or what?
Let us in. Let me in. Let me in.
Let us in.
Let us in.
Let us in. If I share it, does it do I need to go to the link? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like the share link?
Maybe. Listen live.
Let's go. We're in, boys. No one's talking yet.
No one's talking.
We're in, though.
All the hosts are muted. Jesse's here. Rabbit's here. Perplexity's a listener. Interesting.
Wow.
Who's Dimitri?
You think Elon's going to show up?
Devalenko.
No one's talking yet, huh? Everyone's muted.
Everybody.
So Jesse is like the creator Rabbit, I think. Right? And then Perplexity, like he's the actual designer, like creator of the product.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming this is like their communications or marketing team, maybe?
Probs. What's the gold check mark?
Part of a business.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is hype though. There's like no one here.
Yeah,
405 people? One of the comments.
Plus this group says like 450 maybe.
Show captions? Anyone talking that I just can't hear? Request to speak.
Request to speak.
All right, dude. Well, we're gonna chill here. I'm gonna retweet my Twitter thing again.
Yeah. Good call.
Let people know we're doing it. Hopefully they'll start talking soon.
Get out of here. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I.
We'll play some music until someone starts talking here. I'm assuming it's gonna be one of the main dudes. Got a handful of speakers there. So what do you think it's gonna be, man? Just a simple integration of Perplexity, maybe a buyout?
I do think it's gonna. All right. Let's go.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yo, the audio is shit.
Hey, awesome. Yeah, I think we can start.
Can you hear Kenny?
I'm ready.
Okay, awesome.
Nice.
All right. Are we good to announce?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Okay.
Straight off the bat.
Cool. Let's tweet it first before making the announcement.
Yep.
Here.
Okay.
I think they're not expecting the way we're gonna announce this. Insanely great value for both Perplexity users and Rabbit R1 holders. So, yeah.
Yep. All right. Let me just go ahead and tweet it.
Just read that, dude.
Yeah, the captions aren't super on, but.
All right, so we're gonna start a conversation in a bit, but first of all, we will both Perplexity and Rabbit official account will tweet about the announcement for the details. So we're ready when you are. Let's just wait for a tweet, and then we can start a conversation.
Send the tweet, boys!
Send it, full send.
Send the tweet, boys! Fire in the hole! All right, 15 seconds ago, we're thrilled to announce our partnership with Rabbit. Together, we are introducing real-time, precise answers.
So I'm pretty excited to share that Perplexity and Rabbit are partnering together.
Oh my God, it's just a free subscription.
So we are excited to power real-time, precise answers for Rabbit R1 using our Perplexity online LLM APIs that have no knowledge cutoff, just always plugged into our search index. And the first 100,000 Rabbit R1 purchases will also get 1 year free of Perplexity Pro.
Where that came from? I didn't know that Spaces had that feature, but yeah, continue, everyone.
Aww.
Okay, yeah, the first 100,000 Rabbit R1 purchases are going to get 1 year free of Perplexity Pro. So it's basically like Perplexity Pro 1 year free is $200. So if you pay $200 to purchase a Rabbit R1, you're getting twice the value.
Yeah. So
that's kind of sucky, dude.
Yeah. Interaction on X a couple of days ago, and then what's going on next is the following couple of days, teams working really hard together to make this happen. And I think, to me, it's a no-brainer. If you think about, Rabbit R1 would price at $199. No, actually not $200, but $199. No subscription.
Fair enough.
And the Perplexity errand is generous enough to offer a Perplexity Pro for a whole year. That was actually $200. So that's one extra bucks on top of it. So, but I want to share a little bit, background what's going on, because to us, we've been huge fans of Perplexity from day one since they launched. Even though I haven't got a chance to talk to Arvind personally, but we are a pretty early startup that we started trying to test their APIs. So we are their customers too anyway. So I think what's most impressed me about, and quite ironically, it's the same reason that why we are so disappointed with other LLMs out there. For instance, GPTs and Anthropic, is that they did very, very poorly on what they call web browsing or up-to-date search. And that's when we realized and we found Perplexity, and we immediately did a test run. That was like many, many years ago. Many months ago. And the results were insanely good. It beats all the other guys out of water. So even though the way that we connected and we established this partnership is totally new, but I think it's determined to happen, at least from my perspective, because our angle is to bring the best experiences to this little piece of device, and we choose whoever is the best in the industry. And I think right now, up-to-date information.
So, I mean, what I'm hearing, I'm going to talk over just a little bit here, but it sounds like it's just a free subscription.
And I noticed on the Twitter thread as well, a lot of people are replacing this. Replacing the
GPT that has like a real-time.
That's certainly also my case.
Plugin.
So I just want to talk from being a customer myself, being a user myself. That's my angle. Why this deal makes perfect sense.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Jesse. So actually, for a lot of people might not know here, the way the whole thing came together was, I think I posted something that's so fun with the Rabbit. I think everyone on Twitter was just taking your Rabbit device and like posting their product on it on the screen. And then you looked at it and you were like, let's work together, co-tweeted me. Then I co-tweeted you, and then you just made it official on Twitter. So we never even actually exchanged emails or anything of that nature or got intros in the traditional way. The whole thing came together just by people being excited for us to work together. So what do you have to say about that? And I guess you're also like, going viral on Twitter, or rather you should call it X here, and how you've grown so
Wait,
fast.
hold on. So this partnership was just born out of cloud chasing? Is that what I'm hearing?
Basically, and it seems like it was only the last few days.
It seems rushed.
We saw basically Rabbit R1 every day was another 10,000. So right now, as we're speaking, the fifth batch, which is the first 50,000 units, are already being sold out. That means that we're 50% already at the top 100K. But what I also want to share a little bit.
So that's like $10 million in sales.
Yeah, $10 million in 5 days. It's okay, I guess. But
pretty insane.
But I think what we are currently doing is that now we have a pretty good understanding of the demand. We already pre-communicated with our logistics, regarding to the OEM, and want to make sure they catch up with the speed. So I think after this 50,000 units, the future will no longer distinguish in batches. What we're going to do is that we're going to basically work with the OEM, and our own internal hardware team to catch up with the speed, so that we are no longer facing this 1 month shipping. So the goal here is that hard date, March 31st, which is Easter. We're going to start shipping the first batch, and we're going to do our best to ship all the future batches as early as we can. And that's the best we can do at the moment. But I think hopefully our partnership will further incentive that, because really, if you just do simple math, $199 and $200 back, that's not too hard to understand. But more importantly, it's not about the money. It's about you're getting the best experiences in a very, very well-designed and intuitive device with, not only what GPTs can offer, what the other devices can offer, but with large action models running behind. So I think it's quite promising. And speaking of the deal, I think, Ariel, I'm not sure if you agree with me, but it seems like we accidentally invented a new type of deal making that happens on Twitter with quote retweet. I don't think any, major players have ever done that so fast and have ever done that in such manner. So I want to hear what your thoughts on that. It almost starts with a meme. And
Even like the biggest tech bros on fucking Twitter call it Twitter.
On our devices, and then here we have the partnership announcement within a week. So what's your thought on that?
I mean, we love working with you because you move incredibly fast. Like the moment you told you want to work together, immediately we started a Slack channel, and then your team started hacking on this, and you sent me a demo. And then we got energized looking at the demo. We were like, hey, like these guys work fast, like as fast or even faster than us. And we used to think we work fast, but obviously after seeing you, we think we can do even better. And then we want to make our APIs even faster. So maybe I want to lead from there to your thoughts on the whole voice-to-voice form factor, right?
Yeah.
Because the Rabbit device is definitely taking us beyond just consuming screens and text in the form of pixels to just interacting more naturally. So what are your thoughts on the next stage of how people consume and interact with all these AI chatbots and assistants?
Yeah, so I think being our age, we grown up, unfortunately, where the dictation engine were never invented, and then it was invented, and it was put in use in a horrible way. That I think our current generation are victims of the early days of the dictation engine, the early days of the natural language processing before large language model, of course, and transformer and all that. So I think me personally, I identify myself as probably along with everyone here is a PTSD with the early version of the dictation engine. That's why I guess it creates such a strong impact on our mind that maybe voice is not the right way to go. I'd rather prefer type. But I think our principle is very simple. Is that what's the most intuitive way for communication, right? Like think about everyone. If we convert this Twitter Spaces into a type Twitter Spaces, or into even worse like a fax Twitter Spaces, non-instant message Twitter Spaces. I don't think that we can deliver all this information in a relatively short period of time. So
use Twitter like a search engine? Is that what I'm hearing?
Human and
I have no idea what I'm hearing.
Before the Neuralink stuff become put in use, and natural language, especially conversation in voice, is still to be the most efficient way. Now the problem becomes easy because we just need to fix the PTSD. But I think if you look at the past 3-4 years, probably especially past 3 years, a lot of
PTSD?
the fundamental infrastructure around that.
Yeah, regarding the dictation devices, I think is what he's talking about. Is your voice assistants? You know what I mean? So you think Siri, Alexa, they're just really old school, outdated, kind of trash. I think that's what he's talking about, is sort of like the PTSD we have with some of these worse off models.
Oh, gotcha.
I don't think that's a great choice of words. I personally don't care.
I don't think so either.
Among all the kids that, they actually prefer the dictation.
What's up, everybody in chat? If you're here for gaming, it's not going to happen right away. We're going to be doing this for a little bit, but maybe stick around.
Shifting, and of course,
I could be convinced.
Because
I could be convinced.
Infrastructure are good enough, are redundant enough. So for us, we are not saying that you can only talk to R1. If you shake the R1, the keyboard will pop up.
Okay.
But if you think about the most intuitive way, and if you're in a rush, there's nothing better than just find that analog button, press and hold, and start talking.
Like a walkie-talkie.
So I guess that's our design principle. We understand the current.
Maybe there won't be much more announcement here.
But we want to push just a little bit further because the method is not wrong, right? The approaching is not wrong. It feels wrong because the technology won't ready. But I think, like I said, in the past 3-4 years,
I disagree with what he's saying. Also,
he's broken,
to where we're confident now enough to build, a device like R1 in its form factor.
Yeah, that's cool. And I also want to lead you to a follow-up question there, which is, what do you think about today's latency, and what do you think the latency for voice to voice is going to look like? Maybe 6 months from now or a year from now?
Yeah,
they pre-plan these
I think
questions?
that's
They probably
a
do.
major,
They had to have, right?
major task here. I was actually talking to our
I don't
engineer
know.
team. I think we should have a special
Chat's
board
asking how long till gaming. I don't know. Maybe never. We'll see.
Not only on
See how we're feeling.
but on all the features. I'll share a
Definitely
story.
not
So I built a
5.
app like many.
Okay, those commas are in the wrong place, bro, boy.
Flow. It was primarily launched in Asia because we have partnerships with music labels back in Asia, and it was not launched here. And the app is extremely simple. It's just the entire screen is a button. You press and hold, and you talk, and the music starts playing. And we did a lot of work in the back end to make sure
There's
that
no
music
real new announcement except instead of using their API, right? Instead of using their native Rabbit operating software and like the API they built, they're just wrapping their product now in Perplexity.ai. Is that correct? That's what I'm hearing.
That's exactly what, and just giving the first 100,000 people who buy a Rabbit a free subscription.
Yeah, so they're getting
how long?
That's what. So if you're gonna wrap your product in Perplexity, is that now a hidden subscription fee, or is that just a third-party add-on?
Ooh, great point. Because their whole thing is no subscriptions.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So if it's gonna have Perplexity built in, are you just gonna be annoyed by being asked to like buy a subscription every time you ask it a question, or will it default to a shittier API that's still probably gonna give people, as what they're saying, PTSD of bad answers?
Bro, I don't know how. I mean, I wonder how they were harping on speed so much earlier, which it seems like they got this whole thing going very fast. But I wonder if they even thought that out.
A song, that's on par.
Yeah, did they? I have some notes too that we can talk about after.
In reality,
Sweet.
Search web browsing, search up-to-date information, and also some of
I
the
get
vision
why.
features, like
Perplexity's up-to-date information. It's like when you ask ChatGPT something, unless you have a plugin that surfs the web or whatever.
Right, you're getting the data from whenever they last updated it.
So not only will it have like an updated, search engine built in if you pay for the subscription, it sounds like, but it'll also have a faster latency. The responses will get to you quicker.
For natural language interaction with any devices. And I remember I read a paper. I probably can find that paper later on and post it on my Twitter. But there's a research on human brain understand and handle natural language in speed-wise. I think there's a couple of the different languages, and they can differ very, very differently. Like I think Japanese, as well as a couple of other language, you actually process that information faster because of how the language is structured. But I think 500 milliseconds should be like the golden bar. Like I did a couple of tests internally. I think 500 milliseconds natural language voice response is the golden bar. Like you don't want to be slower than that, but you don't also want to be faster than that. Be faster than that, people scared off because they think that you pre-listen and you're scared. Like you answer my question ahead of time. But if it's slower than maybe like 800 milliseconds, and people will confuse and try to ask the same question again, knowing that maybe it's a network issue or maybe you didn't quite get
Slack's popping off right now.
Voice right. So I think 500 milliseconds is kind of like a universal benchmark that we're trying to hit on among all the features. That's kind of like my
And where would you consider your whatever latency you have today? How would you compare that with other similar apps like ChatGPT voice to voice? Like, have you tried comparing the two?
Yeah, so we did have a technology we call kernel that we started working on this pretty early, more than 2 years, that would basically establish a streaming model. Because if you think about why there's a latency, so if you press this button, the microphone starts recording, and you're recording in an audio file, and that audio file needs to be converted into strings, and that strings send it to the dictation engine or TTS, speech to text, actually, speech to text engine, and convert to text, and then that text send it to OpenAI, ChatGPT API, or Perplexity API, or whatever large language model for intentional understanding, and then it starts generating based on their speed, and then it's a round trip, right? This is a single trip, and everything reversed again. So if you add all this together, if you just go there and build a voice AI with no optimization based off GPT-4, we know for a fact that single dialogue you're looking at probably 5 to 6 seconds. But we made a streaming model to where we basically cut off the chunks into a very, very small timestamp chunks, and we make the entire model streaming. I think I'm not the best guy to talk about this. Maybe our
Hey guys, if this isn't for you, you don't have to stay. There's not going to be gaming right now, okay?
not necessarily accelerating GPT or Perplexity speed at the moment, but with this streaming mechanism that if you ask non-search up-to-date information, we're constantly hitting the benchmark, which is 500 milliseconds per response. But I wish everyone, I wish our team, you and me, can do something just on up-to-date information search, and maybe we can push this bar a little bit, because again, this is whatever we're going to push, this is going to be industrial standard. Because right now, it is what it is. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we are certainly at the cutting edge here, and in fact, like the fact that you wanted to do it through streaming, that already makes it much, like the perceived latency is already a lot better than waiting for the full response. And I think there are so many more things we can do to speed it up. So I also want to talk to you about you selling 50,000 units in 5 days. There was
okay, that's just good marketing. 50,000 units. I don't think this is going to be industry standard. Most of which is because there's no policy around data collection and being able to do that. There's no way it can be adopted on a mass scale. Like, think about Apple operating software integrating something like this into their watches. No shot.
There's no shot, dude.
No shot is that getting past any regulators.
After what just happened to them.
Right. I don't think there's much left. They're just talking about their.
There's going to be high expectations.
Yeah, selling.
Device you're going to make. And so what are your plans for R2 or further devices in the future?
Yeah. So
we're going to talk about R2 already.
I didn't quite know that number until I saw that tweet, and that makes my head.
I can see the optimism, but I also
realized that we're talking about no internet, no Twitter versus internet Twitter. I mean, words spread at a different pace of speed, right? So I don't think we're outperforming iPod at the moment. We're a very, very young startup, and this is our first generation device. When Apple launched iPod, they have a tremendous history of setting up the bar and make everything iconic. Pretty much everything they did, sets a bar. So first of all, I'm not delusional.
They're not Apple.
Just by the numbers that we're getting for the first couple of days, we're not delusional that we're arrogant enough thinking that, okay, this is better than iPod, sales performance wise, because
why would you be comparing it to an iPod?
They don't have social media whatsoever. So I would assume if
we
Apple
don't need iPods anymore.
Yeah, I think they're comparing it to an iPod because that was like, I don't know, one of those product launches that was like, this is new, right?
Yeah.
This is different tech than what we're used to. So I'm getting a vibe. It's just about done, right?
Mark Zuckerberg.
I'd rather get a Tamagotchi. Update Tamagotchi with AI.
He talks about open source of Llama 3 that they were developing.
Okay, so now they're talking about open sourcing and stuff. And I like the idea that a lot of the science is like open source, but a lot of this tech is just not going to be, like you said, it's not going to be integrated in, say, Apple OS. You know what I mean? That's not happening.
Yeah.
It's pretty unique, though. What's up to the 7 people hanging out, 9 people across plats right now? I'm streaming live from mine, and Kenny is streaming live from his. So you can also go follow him at the Hessinator. It seems like the live is wrapping up, and then we're gonna chat about it. I took some notes. I'd love to pick your brain about, Kenny.
Sweet. The other way is a result of de-risk. Because we are new, and the operating system are new. The entire AI stuff is new, and we don't know what's the best form factor either. And plus, there's a lot of latency issues, of course. So we don't want to risk presenting a completely new way of interacting with devices, plus give you another kind of like insecurity of, this is completely new.
Yeah, it's like marketing threads like, guys.
And that's why when we design R1, we think about, okay, we need to present something that you're already familiar with, but in a new way. And that's where I'm so happy that communities are getting it, because the first thing I did is I bought 9 Tamagotchi for my entire design team and engineer team back then. We're even smaller than today, but it was about a year and a half ago. I bought 9 Tomakochi from Amazon, and I send them as a gift. I'm like, hey, this is what we're making. And then obviously
he did not send a bunch of Tamagotchis to his product management team and was like, do this, do this.
So I think, we want to bring that culture, relevance to you. Plus, we know that the most efficient and highly redundant form factor of voice dictation and voice commands and voice interaction is not a wake word. I don't like wake
He's acknowledging it. Like a lot of people were pretty much simplifying it to another Alexa. He's acknowledging. He's doing a good job at least acknowledging that.
And
yeah,
kind of is that.
We're talking about Alexa, and obviously they keep saying Alexa, and the entire meeting become a mayhem because they all have a Alexa speaker around.
I'm just not
and
sold.
then a whole bunch of Alexa start talking to each other, and that's very, very dumb. So I don't want a wake word. And then what if you don't have wake word and you think about what's being already in use, right? And then I think I have another example. I'm like, okay, think about what's the most crucial scenario that you need to use voice and voice only. Then we think about the modern warfare, right? The soldiers and the military folks. They're either fight or dying, but they all have this very redundant designed one button, no nothing, just one big button right next to
He's talking about walkie-talkies?
right on their headset.
Yeah, kind of.
You just push and talk, and you're not pushing and waiting for a activation sound, and you start talking.
He's like, Discord really hasn't figured out. That's what it sounds like.
And hold it. And then on civilian market, yeah, it's even more common. It's called walkie-talkie. We all know that, and we all have that.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
a walkie-talkie. No one has them anymore because they're obsolete.
Combine all these elements together to put in those thoughts, and that eventually set the form factor of R1. We want to offer you a modern version of Tamagotchi and Pokédex powered by AI, but with a very redundant push-to-talk button that you probably already know how to use.
Yeah, that's very insightful. Like I didn't.
I think that was a terrible pitch.
Rationale.
Yeah,
I think that was a terrible pitch, actually.
Not get into this.
I'm losing faith
people using
very quickly.
Devices, and all of them are calling them out by their name.
Yeah.
So that's
the 40,000 people who already bought one watching this.
So,
like, wait a second.
The other thing,
what did I just do? Good thing it's only $200.
So building this in public. I mean, first of all, you've been doing it way more actively than pretty much anyone I've seen so far. Like, to the extent that everyone on X is like a supporter
just hyping him up.
So what did you learn
Blazing,
the most?
dude.
What surprised you the most about all this attention you've gotten?
Okay, I don't really care how he feels.
Perplexity even getting out of that? Like,
Perplexity is getting users, monthly average users.
That's true.
They're getting a shit ton of 40,000 to be. Well, what is it? Only 100 actually?
100,000 total are the ones that are getting it for free.
I wonder if that's because they're realizing their business model is not going to be lucrative and they're going to have to pivot for the R2, and there's going to be a subscription model based in it.
Potentially, yeah. I could definitely see that. But I mean, I just don't see the use case even as is. Like, or I don't see where. I mean, I could see a lot of places it could expand into, but I don't know how realistic that is.
What do you mean? Just like it being a large action model controlling applications without you spending time on the applications? Because that's the use case, right?
I don't even think that's the most forward-thinking use case. I think it's more of the AI integrating and interacting with the world around you, which it just doesn't seem like it has very capable features for right now.
Right.
Like,
yeah. So here's my notes. The first thing that I wrote down was just a fast connection and responsiveness, right? So that's the main boost that Perplexity AI integration's bringing it. What was it using before? Not an updated...
I guess their OS, right? And maybe their OS doesn't have a...
What was their API for AI, though? Was it I'm assuming ChatGPT, right? Like everyone?
Yeah, probably. They're probably running on fucking GPT-4.
Okay. So then Perplexity is then updating the info, but it was booking travel like in the demo without Perplexity, right?
It was planning travel. Did it actually book anything except for Uber, which is just it using the app?
You're right, actually. That was what I noticed is what wasn't shown, and that was the actual ticket, the layover, the airport that they're departing from. right?
Yeah.
Like what airport's closest to you even is
Right. Or what is there to do in said city, which is like pull that from a Google search, you know?
right. So, okay, I'm kind of confused still about how fast Perplexity is. I mean, we used it in the beginning of this stream. It was relatively quick as like a Google search, right? It felt more like a Google search than waiting around for a ChatGPT response.
Yeah.
So,
but aside from that,
yeah. The other thing I noted was like just real time transcription. So it was talking about speech to text and then text to search, right?
yeah.
Apparently that's going to be faster than, say, talking to Alexa. And they kept saying PTSD when talking about old, text or speech to text, rather, assistants like Alexa, Siri, those kinds of types.
Yeah. But even then, like, I don't know. And also, what's it like? Okay, it has Bluetooth connection, so
Correct.
maybe you ask it to play something and it's playing in your headphones. But like, I'm not gonna walk around with a half an iPhone size handheld and then ask it to play music for me. I can do that on my phone.
Yeah. A lot of comparisons being made with like, okay, so think about the Pokédex, how you can walk around. Like, I know it sounds kind of funny, but like, you know how you can point the Pokédex at a Pokemon?
Yeah, of course.
So that I think is the most fun case use for this product is it's going to be using the camera to like, interpret data in that way, problem solution type issues that you might encounter in real world application, right? Like, again, I think of the car, it's my computer, right? Like, I don't know, being able to visually give AI something and it being able to process that and then identify the issue and relay a solution to you. That is the most straightforward case use I can think of for this product. Which leads me back to just like it's smaller than your phone, so that's the benefit, right? Like it's like going back to like, is it an iPod then? It's just a smaller device that is like less incumbent on the wearer, and is that really the only benefit?
And is that even such a benefit? Because how encumbering is something we become so used to. Like I can literally, I can go on Amazon and look at furniture, and my phone has a LiDAR scanner that can fucking, better space out my room. I can see it, I can visualize it, like with AR and stuff. This has a 360-degree camera. That's cool. But it doesn't even have like a LiDAR scanner, which would make it so much more useful in applications of like you're mentioning, even with the car, like being able to like scan and visually see where things are, map out, get measurements. And if you're just giving it a picture, like
I'm kind of disappointed. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know what I was expecting. They've done so well at piquing my curiosity. It kind of feels like a letdown.
Yeah.
Now I'm in that like post announcement, like kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like
the post honeymoon phase.
Yeah. So I will say though, the thing that it appeared most were hyped on in the announcement was the clout of partnering with another clouted AI. And what is this like clout glazing fest, dude? I'm here for tech. I love new tech. I think it's inspiring. I think it can be really fun and value added to the world. I really do. But it just seemed like a glazing fest in there.
Yeah, it really does. Like
I don't know. I feel bummed.
It's just latching on for bigger hype. Out of sheer hype of the other, it's like let's use our hype together to get our hype levels to the next part. Like,
again,
for the record,
and it's not over.
I like competition.
What are they talking about?
On with the user acquisition perspective for Perplexity, I think that's 100% what they're after.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I understand. Rabbit was hinting at it's going to increase user experience, right? Like, I get it. It's going to be a faster connection. They mentioned the ability to use it kind of like a walkie-talkie, again, it's going to be in your pocket, right? So like, how often do you want to be pushing something down? I think Apple used to have some sort of mechanism on the side of their phones they had to get rid of because it was an issue. Like people have figured kind of this out as far as what you need in your pocket. And I think there's a reason why we don't leverage walkie-talkies.
100%. And I also think that like it just doesn't have like a market fit really, aside from like people who are super hype on getting their hands on new tech, maybe people who are reviewing things, right? Like just to review them and stuff. And like, I just can't see it being an additional thing to my phone, my wallet, my keys, my AirPods that I stick in my pocket to simply pull up and ask the AI a question when I can literally, I mean, sure, I can open ChatGPT on my phone now too, like, even though that's not real-time information, so what? Like, I can do a Google search, I can play my own music from there, I can take pictures, I can upload a photo to Google, like, maybe one or two more steps, but...
Yeah, and Perplexity AI is also an application. You can like download it from the App Store too. So I'm wondering, is it going to be using it as like, again, an API, so something that's running internally on the Rabbit, or is it just another application that you're going to hook up to the hardware and have it run? Like, have you, because right now, if you received an R1 in the mail, you could ask it whatever, and it'll generate using the current tech it has. But now it's like, what? So you download Perplexity AI and then configure the Rabbit to use that solely as the communication device? I don't know.
That's all it really seems like.
I'm just a little bummed that I don't know exactly what I was expecting here, but a monthly subscription or a free annual subscription for the first 100,000 users, I don't know. Didn't seem to meet the hype. But again, I think that's what Rabbit does well. Sort of hype up their shit without knowing what it is.
Yeah, totally. It just seems like another, like, I don't want to call it a GPT wrapper because it's not, and it's hardware, but it's just like, it's on the AI hype train, and it's looking for a user base, and feels like, let's get something out there, let's see how much hype there is, and then let's kind of, but I mean, they made $10 million in sales, so, and they're probably producing those things somewhere in Asia for hella cheap.
Yeah, and I don't know. Again, it's cool piece of consumer tech. I don't think it's going to be a replacement for anybody's phones. I think this is just another piece of luxury tech for now. I don't think it's really any value added. And I might be wrong. I might be missing something again. I don't know. But
the best use case that I see for it would be on a watch, like as a wrist device, because then the encumbrance factor is kind of decreased. It's a little bulky now to be putting on your wrist. It's like a friggin' giant ass Rolex. Like,
it's like 4 Rolexes.
But that's really the only place I see it having. And then you're limited, because the way the 360 camera is now, half of it would be looking at your wrist. And unless there's a sensor in there that's going to give me my, my heart rate, those kind of data. I mean, I have an Apple Watch for that. Like,
and it's not meant to do that. It's not meant to do that. It's meant to act. Which again, even my first video when I was covering it, I couldn't quite wrap my head around that idea that you're going to have to open up your laptop, go into the Rabbit portal, and then configure everything. And then go into the real world with your Rabbit, and then God forbid you didn't configure it correctly, or like it's unable to. What are you gonna rush home to your Mac? Like, are you pulling out your iPhone? Like, tell me how that works.
Yeah.
And I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, can you even take pictures with it, or can you just use the camera to look at what's in front of you and have the data processed in real time, but not be able to store anything?
It could. I wonder this much. Maybe this is the note we can end on. I don't know. We don't have to end if you don't want to, but I think on a positive note, other companies that are much larger, that follow more robust laws and legislation and keep up to date on that kind of stuff, might be able to use it as a blueprint, right? A stepping stone that can be integrated to make fucking Siri better. Make Siri fucking better. Like,
I 100% think that's the current strategy. Is like, look what we were able to design, and let's get acquired.
What happened to Alexa? What the fuck?
I got PTSD from Alexa, Alpha.
I'm just saying we've kind of had these like beta prototypes of LLMs in speech models for a while now. If we want it to take action, I think we can have technology to do that. I think we have the technology to do that. So I don't know. I'm a little bummed. Not really sure what the fuck I was expecting here, but a subscription model for the masses was not it. Coming from a company that has been preaching no subscription models.
Yeah.
So, bummer. I don't know if they thought that went all the way out.
I don't know either. Seems kind of cash grabby at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well.
But hey, more power to them, I guess.
Yeah, dude. Any comments though? Like just takeaways from it? I don't know. I know you had no idea what you were really walking into. None of us did. But any last comments, concerns?
No, I mean just that like I like the fact that people are out here trying stuff and they're trying to make something that's new and revolutionary and applies AI in the hardware realm.
Yep.
But I just don't think they've quite figured it out yet, and I think they're throwing things at the wall right now, which you kind of have to do for some time. But I don't know how far I see this going unless I really think the end goal is just for them to get acquired or something, because it doesn't seem like aside from the uber tech enthusiasts that there's a market for this right now.
Yeah. I would agree, dude. I think it's a really cool application of like AI because again, all we've seen is it's pretty much just LLMs, right? Read a document this, produce a picture here, and to see it kind of manifest.
100 TikToks in an hour, yeah.
Yeah, to manifest in a hardware product and people shooting their shot at something like this, I think is really cool. I think it's going to inspire some of those bigger companies to finally step up their game and stop being so complacent in this micro changes they make every year to their products to upscale it. You know what I mean? I think that's such bullshit.
Yeah.
More companies should be able to take risks like this. This is fun. This is, at the end of the day, I think it's fun. So,
I agree.
But that's going to be it for the Perplexity and Rabbit freaking announcement. Kind of mid-announcement, but again, ultimately it's fun. I think it's fun. Kind of bummed it was a subscription model, but hey, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. And you said it before, but that's kind of where the world is going. It's just these straight up subscriptions as the way to monetization.
Yeah.
It's a constant cash flow.
You gotta keep the revenue up, boys. And to sell a product with a one-time fee and no subscription model, I said it in my first video, it's not a viable model for a company in this economy. It's just not.
It's just not.
Unless your product's selling for $7.99, like the Humane pin or, something like that. Like, I just don't see it. Even if it was not introducing Perplexity AI as a subscription model, I'm still not seeing where the profit happens. So I got to keep my eye on a Rabbit. I hope you do too, Kenny.
I will. Now I'm
fun stuff.
Engaged, but
yeah. But this is where the live stream is going to end today. I know Kenny's going to be picking it up later with Pal World. Is that right? At the Hessinator YouTube?
Right.
That's right. Midnight drop.
Sometime around midnight PST.
Yeah, boys.
So.
I'm not going to game today, guys. I just wanted to do tech stuff. I just wanted to do fun stuff today. I'm not going to game. I'm actually going to be ending stream here. So that's going to be it from us. I will play us out with a song, though. Yeah, I'll play the song. That's right. And then I'll end stream. So if you're watching on Kenny's stream, thank you for hanging out. If you're watching on my stream, thank you guys for hanging out. I will be doing cozy stuff tomorrow. Probably in the morning, because, that's usually where you can find me. Okay?
Early bird gets the worm.
Yeah. All right. I love you guys. I love Kenny. If you want to hang around Discord, I'd love to just kind of decompress with you.
Hell yeah.
All
See
right.
you guys.
To the stream. Bye.
To the stream. Bye.
We're going to fade out. We're fading out. I'll turn off my logo because we're on Kenny's stream too. All right. Bye.
That's all right.